So you guys are in for a treat today. Bob is an old school wizard. And so, Curtis, you have some notes. Can you bring that forward, please?
Yeah, I have some notes about Bob's class today. So it's The Impossible Dream. He'll be teaching ancient esoteric knowledge and doing a Phoenix Rising Vibrational Healing group session. And the added bonus is a stretch at the end, something to deal with fear. I think that's enough there. The briefing goes a little longer, but you'll be learning from Bob directly. So
okay, so just reminding everyone, keep it always simple. This is some deep knowledge. So keep it simple. Do the Bruce Lee. Take what's useful. Study with anyone and everyone. Take what's useful. Discard the rest. Make it your own. Right? And so take what's useful. Without further ado, Bob the Wizard. Take it away, Bob.
Hey, guys. I just want to start with saying, I really haven't ever done this stuff for a long time. So I'm a little bit nervous, and that's cool. I'm just going to keep it simple, like the coach says, and come from the heart. And so I'm going to start with like my legacy statement. I am an evolution agent. I share wisdom and I farm freedom within my family of humanity. Heightening awareness, I empower others to reach their fullest potential. And that's absolute freedom. That's what we're after. And, how very grateful I am to be here. Like, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wise, and I'm still alive. Let's put it that way. And what brought me here? I want to share what brought me here. And I have to read something here. We're on a mission. Do you really think you believe that millions of evolved souls would say yes to come to Earth just to die in a totalitarian new world order? Absolutely not. We came here to flip this world upside down, back to its original state and more. We came here for the new Earth, or world peace, or the immortal golden age, or the new Eden, whatever you want to call it. That's what we came here for. And that's what we call the great work. That's the alchemist's great work, is to get everybody flipping this place back where it should be. And so, like, how I really got here, and it's the essence of my meeting today, is what I call the knock of the spirit. I was sitting under here I am, sitting under my kitchen sink, and I'm fixing a leak, and the water spraying all over the place, and I'm letting YouTube play over in the background, and here comes on Troy Casey, State of the Union address, and he's talking. I don't even know what he said. I don't remember it, but I feel a quiver in the air, like, oh my God, that's the knock of the spirit. And so I just immediately turned the water off and just bagged the sink for a little while. I've got a call for the knock of the spirit. So I just got on the phone. I was talking to Miss Sienna, and I signed up for the legacy program, and the rest is history. And I have to tell you, before I did the legacy statement, I went to a doctor, and I got a blood test, and I was fat, I was sick, I was metabolically screwed up, had diagnosed with pre-diabetes. I was not feeling very good, and old age was creeping in, just turning me into a feeble old man. And then so I just took the call of the spirit, and now I've lost like 32 pounds. I went back to that same doctor. I got a clean bill of health. Everything's healthy. All the levels are normal. And what else I want to mention about that is there was another guy who went to the same doctor about the same age that I was, had about the same problems. And this guy's dead now. He passed away. So I want to stress how important it is that we listen to the spirit, because that's what this lesson is really about. And now I have lots of energy. I walk 3 to 5 miles every day. I do intermittent fasting. I do the Zen swing, all the qigong. I do go to the gym when I want to. Do the functional fascia fitness. I'm in nature daily, walking, and I have a great relationship with my family and a couple dogs. However, I have to say that the most important part of the program is my legacy statement. And as soon as I started living that legacy statement, my life just started to blossom just like a flower. It gave me the edge to see who I am and what I'm supposed to do here. And then I just started putting all these pieces just started coming in. I just started hold on to do the camera there. All the pieces just started coming in, and I just put it together. I came up with something that I call the path of the heart. And let's see, what I came here to teach about today is mind control. We've all heard about mind control. Who hasn't heard about mind control? Yeah, nobody. So how to abolish mind control? I think I've figured it out. We live in a world today where we're constantly bombarded with all sorts of information, and the agenda is to keep you disconnected from the spirit. You're not listening to the spirit, but you're listening to everything else. It's just distraction, 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 distraction. And it disconnects us from the spirit, what we're supposed to be doing and why we're here. And so with that being said, I'm going to go into the book a little bit. It's important to realize that the world is a description that has been pounded into us since birth. From the time of our birth, our teachers, which is our parents and other people, they start describing the world to us. That's a tree, that's a rock. And pretty soon, we're able to describe the world ourselves, and then we become a member of the world. They're continually describing the world to us, and I think it's to comply with a global agenda. It's, to shape the world how somebody else wants it. News, social media, artificial intelligence, they're all being compromised to shape the world into a view. This is mind control. Honestly, there's so many tools and manipulations out there, I just can't list them all. And I think you guys know what they are, so I'm not gonna bother. Magicians, on the other hand, insist that there is nothing out there, that we're surrounded by infinity. It's all energy. And as soon as you observe it, it collapses into reality. And that's what makes it so. So I'll share something right here. You've all heard of the double slit experiment. You guys hear me? So the double slit, yeah, good. Okay. The double slit experiment, everything's a wave, and it creates an interference pattern over there on the backboard. I'm not a scientist or anything, but I notice this is kind of how it works. But once you observe it, they put an observer here observing the waveforms. It turns into particles, so it turns into matter. So that's exactly in alignment with what magicians are trying to say. And there is another description of the world, and that's the magician's description. And so sometimes I might say terms and things you haven't heard of before. It's because I'm describing a different reality to you, one of the magicians. And it may be quite different at times. But I just want to stress that mind control, what it's doing is it's eating your attention. Your attention is what you use to create your reality. Whatever you focus on is what creates your reality. And so that's why there's so many distractions. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on heightening your awareness today, or gradually. It's going to take over time. And we're going to do a few exercises too. And I'm going to dive into what I feel is the solution to this mind control program. And I'll do my best to give you an opening into what we call the second attention, which is the different view of the world. Okay. So I'm going to go over some of my qualifications. There's an ancient knowledge that permeates humanity that was once known by many, but is now known by few. And it's existed throughout time, passed down through different lineages of magicians. And without getting into the history of these guys, because it's a long, long history, it all started with ancient magician, and then they used power plants, and they were starting to see, and then that one day we got what was called the man who woke. He woke up from the dream, and then this knowledge started evolving from there. And now, these days, because it's already happened, somebody's already done this, it can lead one to total freedom, to be invulnerable to outside influences, no matter what the circumstances are. You literally become an invincible being. Because the outside world cannot even affect you anymore. I'll give you an example. You can take the Naljorpa of Tibet. These guys, they're considered hermits. They don't have anywhere to live. They don't have anything. They just disconnected from everything. But see, nothing can touch them. And we don't have to do that anymore. You take what you need, and the warrior takes what he needs. And he leaves the rest. And my qualifications, the time has really come for me to share this knowledge with everybody who will listen. And my qualifications, besides the years of reading books, studying esoteric knowledge, being in secret societies, medicinal power plants, being a shaman, the ultimate qualification I have is that I'm a warrior of the spirit. Okay? And although all the initiations, countless ceremonies, and all the plant medicine I did, I've got a list of them. I did LSD, peyote, mescalito, which teaches one how to live, ayahuasca, showed me the totality of myself, ibogaine, Rufal alivarius, which is the toe medicine, Tepezcoite, which is DMT, psilocybin, which are mushrooms, which that cures depression, cannabis for pain, because when I was recovering, I was in pain, tobacco, which is for prayer, combo, which makes you puke like 5-gallon buckets. It's really not that fun to take. There's a few for you after it. These are all medicines for the human condition. And as far as I'm concerned, these days I really don't need to use them anymore. I don't really need to use them. But they did call me the wolf medicine man, so I'm a wolf medicine man. I've also had experience with possessive power plants, which is like cocaine and heroin. Yeah, I was addicted to heroin at one point in my life, and then I'm going to go into that. These medicines have been magnified to the fullest extent, and they're just, I struggled with those because they're very addictive. And I'm not going to tell my whole story because a warrior erases personal history, and that way nobody can connect to you about how you were in the past. They don't listen to you that way anymore. And so you're free from the past. It lets you free from the past if you erase your personal history. You don't have to erase all of it because you want to take what you like. What serves you, you want to bring with you. But if it's not serving you, just let it go. Let the past go like it is a heroin habit that's ready to kill you, because it is. It's going to kill you. It's just like a heroin habit. So here's my short version of how my life ended. I have been prosecuted, convicted, imprisoned, beaten, tortured, physically and etherically, psychologically evaluated and fucked with, excuse my language, addicted, experimented on, lied to, deceived, betrayed. They've tried to murder me. I've been mind controlled. I've had voice to skull technology used on me. I've had directed energy weapons fired at me. I've been microwaved. I've been dentisted with implants in my teeth so they could track me where I was. I've been bugged. I've been violated physically as well as etherically and mentally. I've been gang-stalked. I've been put on a terrorist watch list. I've been tracked, droned, followed, spied on, and harassed ever since I got here, since birth. And you know what? I am freaking sick of it. I'm just done with this kind of stuff. This is nonsense. This cannot go on any longer. So I left. What I did is I left everything behind. I just left it all. And I ran for my life because I was getting tortured. So I found myself, I was lost. I was living in Mexico. I was sitting in a fifth wheel trailer with me and my wife. And I was addicted to heroin. I was terrified. I was just terrified. Because, I'm still getting hammered with mind control technology and harassment, electronic harassment. And then finally, after I got to Mexico, the electronic harassment went away. And then I found a guy who did ibogaine treatments, and I got clean. Then I met some shamans, and there was also the bear. Then there was Nemo, which is Latin for nobody, and he was my benefactor. And there was Alex and a slew of other apprentices. We had a lot of fun. It was a life of adventure, let's put it that way. And then I met Antonia, and she was what you would call an oracle. And she told me who I was in a past lifetime, and she showed me what my job was to do. And I didn't believe any of this stuff, like, all right, whatever, okay, I'm not going to go into it. This lady had lines of people waiting all day long. You had to wait for hours to go see her, and she only charged like $5 a person. It was great. Let me tell you, after I was done with those guys, I can tell you that the ego self, it just didn't come out alive. I had a glorious death. It was a glorious death to get rid of that. And I also want to make a note that some of the teachings they gave me were in a heightened state of awareness. And when one returns into a normal state of awareness, you start to you don't remember any of it. So you have to go out through life, and then you every once in a while you go back into a heightened state of awareness and you start remembering this stuff. And remember is an interesting word. What we're really doing is remembering our soul. We're remembering all those bits and pieces we left all over with our life experiences. You leave a piece of energy with you everywhere you go, and they might exchange some of their energy with you. And so we had to clear all that stuff up. Besides all that, I followed the spirit. And it wasn't until I was able to die a glorious death and follow nothing but the spirit, then that is when the knowledge really started to begin. And by doing so, I have lived a life of adventure. It's been a life of adventure. You never know when the spirit's going to knock. It can knock at any moment. Yeah, it's like, if you're going to follow that, and I suggest you do, it'll lead you on an adventure. Maybe you're not, and if you don't follow it, because there's been times when I didn't follow the spirit. I ended up addicted, getting chased, and down into Mexico, and I landed up in hell. It was catastrophic results. So really what I teach from is my experience, what I see, and from books. I've got several different books that are up here that I've read. I've read a lot of books. And I teach from the spirit itself. I did discover a manual. These are Carlos Castaneda's teachings. They had like 12 books. And I've read all those 12 books. But this manual, it takes out all the BS that Carlos put in there. And it focuses solely on what Don Juan Matus was teaching Carlos. And it's written in a format where it's talking to you. So I started learning this, and it became what I call the path of the heart. And so I've started a business naming the path of the heart, and there's like secrets in here. I mean, it chokes me up. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit emotional about it. And I have a couple quotes here from Don Juan Matus. If you want to survive, you must be crystal clear and deadly sure of yourself. That's Don Juan Matus. And there's another one. Only a warrior can survive the path of knowledge, because the art of a warrior is to balance the terror of being a man with the wonder of being a man. So, with that being said, there's nothing new under the sun. Back to what we're here to do today is mind control. Mind control has been around for a very long time. They've been describing the world to us for a long, long time. And the solution, I don't want to focus on the problem. I want to focus on the solution. My intent is to offer a solution that I found living this magical teachings, and from all my experience and what I've all gone through. And it came to me as like an epiphany. All of a sudden, one day you have a realization of something magical. If the mind is controlled, stop listening to the mind. I got another quote. Never underestimate the power of simplicity. Troy Casey. And so I got another quote. Forget the self and you will fear nothing in whatever awareness you find yourself to be in. Don Juan Matus. So, but it's really literally impossible to get rid of the mind. Yeah, you can follow the heart, but you can't really get rid of the mind. So what we want to do is establish a mind-heart coherence, and it starts making a figure 8 through the chakras. The energy starts flowing differently, and magic starts to happen. It unlocks some gifts, unlocks all your abilities, and unlocks your gifts. You start projecting reality from your heart instead of what the mind is. KF radio is telling you. What we have to do is reorder the mind. What we do is replace the items in the mind with the ones that are on the path of your heart. And so what it does is it starts binding this mind-heart coherence. And when the mind-heart coherence happens, one becomes stellar. So stellar, I want to share the screen again. Stellar. This is what stellar means. Activation of the light body through mind-heart coherence reveals the path to true freedom. which is a unique spiritual evolution. And over time, living stellar, your abilities will come online. What are your abilities? Well, there's clairvoyance, that's clear seeing. There's clairaudience, there's clear hearing. There's clear cognizance, clear knowing, clear sentience, clear feeling, clear empathy, clear emotions, clear gustance, clear tasting, clear salience, clear smelling. There's remote viewing, there's telepathy, there's precognition, knowing what is going to happen. There's psychokinesis, where you can move objects. I can't do that one. I can do a lot of these other ones, but they do get unlocked. And so I just wanted to go over your ability to do. Not everybody's aware of them, but they are there and they are real. So I want to go over with you what they call the truths of awareness. Where is it? Sorry, we're not going to go over truths of awareness today. What I want to do is share the picture of the human energy field. Let me see if I can make that bigger. Yeah. It's what they call the egg, the cocoon of man. I can just go over. It's the truths of awareness are written in this book. The universe consists of an infinite number of energy fields resembling threads of light. These thread-like energy fields radiate from a source of unimaginable dimensions, metaphorically called the eagle. As such, these energy fields are known as the eagle's emanations. Human beings are likewise composed of the same infinite number of these thread-like energy fields, which manifest in the shape of a large luminous egg. The height of this egg is equal to the length of a man's body, with his arms fully extended above his head on the vertical axis, and with the width of that of a man with his arms extended outward from the center of his body along the horizontal axis. This egg is known as the cocoon of man. Only a small group of energy fields inside the cocoon are lit up at any one time by a brilliant point of light located on the surface of the cocoon. Perception takes place when the energy fields which are illuminated by the point of light extend their light to illuminate corresponding energy fields outside the cocoon. This point of light is termed the point where perception is assembled, normally abbreviated to the assemblage point. It is possible to shift the assemblage point to any other position on the surface of the cocoon, or even to its interior. Because the assemblage point illuminates any energy field with which it comes into contact, the new energy field it illuminates as a result of such shifting constitutes therefore a new perception. It is this new level of perception that is known as seeing. When the assemblage point shifts sufficiently far, as a totally new world is perceived, which is just as real as the one man normally perceives. There is a mysterious force known as intent, which exists throughout the entire universe. It is this force which brings about perception, for it is intent which firstly aligns the energy fields and secondly causes awareness of that alignment. The goal of a warrior is to experience all possible perceptions available to man. This constitutes what is known as total awareness, inherent within which is an alternate way of dying. So that's kind of heavy stuff, and I wanted to keep it simpler, but I don't know how to say that any simpler than that. And you can see the egg of the man, and you can see the assemblage point right here. It's right at the heart level. So we really want to be projecting our reality from this. The assemblage point is projected out from our reality is assembled by the assemblage point. It's projected out from the assemblage point. And sometimes this thing can get misplaced. Sometimes it can get fractionalized. And so we're here to prepare that today. And some people can actually see this. It's about 3 feet behind the shoulder blades. Let me just stop sharing this. It's about 3 feet behind the shoulder blades, your perception point, your assemblage point. This is the place where perception is assembled. That's what gives you the view of the outside world. The energy fields within the cocoon. Whatever's inside is equal to whatever's outside. You've heard that before, haven't you? As above, so below, as within, so without. That's another alchemist saying from the Emerald Tablet. And I want to go into what the modality that came to me after I figured out my legacy statement. It was this PRVH, Phoenix Rising Vibrational Healing. It's a tool I discovered along this path, and I don't have much experience with this, but I can see what it does. Like it shifts your perception just a little bit so you're in alignment with who you are and what you're supposed to do. So what I want to do today is shift your alignment to be in line with, I'll show you. I'm going to tell you a little bit about PRVH. PRVH operates as a form of concentrated prayer, or rather what I call a command, channeling energy and intention through 4 key elements. One is name, one is rank. Your name is your baseline vibratory frequency. One is rank, higher planes rule lower planes. Number, which is an energetic identification, and light encoded geometry. It adjusts the human energy field, repairing any damages that may have been caused, and it really just speeds things up. Okay, I found it. This just makes it faster. You don't have to do all these exercises. They give you a ton of exercises in these books, but it's going to take you decades to get through it. I found a way to speed it up, and PRVH does that.